carbonation test by spraying phenolphthalein. Okay, so till now we have completed two practicals. Both of them are the non-destructive test. First one is the rebound hammer test, and second one we have learned about the UPV test. Okay, both of these are the non-destructive test. Today we are going to start with the another practical, which is nothing but the carbonation test by spraying the phenolphthalein. Okay, now the question arises, there are two different words which is come into the picture. First is the carbonation and second one is the word phenolphthalein. As the word phenolphthalein you have already studied in your chemistry practical as well, for calculating the alkalinity or calculating the pH of a liquid, we use the indicator as a phenolphthalein. And next word is the carbonation. Now what is the meaning of carbonation in the chemistry? It is carbonation is a chemical reaction process in which the carbon dioxide is react with any substance and make the carbonates. Either it makes the carbonates by or bicarbonate. So in this process of our learning, we are going to get the carbonation. We are going to get the carbonates. Okay, so these are the two different things which we are going to learn. Okay, so in this practical carbonation test by spraying the phenolphthalein. So what we are going to do, we are going to basically spray the phenolphthalein on a surface or any concrete surface to check how much is the carbonation or carbonation has been done. So in this carbonation test, first is the aim. Aim is to determine the depth of carbonation in the concrete, and second is to understand the effect of carbonation in concrete. Okay, the first one is important as this is the something which is quantitatively we are going to calculate, and second one is the effect of carbonation. So what are the effects which we are going to get? It's nothing but deterioration of concrete and the reinforcement basically. So first one, to determine the depth of carbonation means how much is at what depth the carbon dioxide is being penetrated into the concrete. So that's what we are going to learn in this carbonation test. For that purpose, we require some apparatus and chemicals. As what are the chemicals we are going to use? First is the phenolphthalein solution. Remember this, phenolphthalein solution. Second one, we require the chemical sprayer. Basically what is chemical sprayer? It is nothing but a normal sprayer which is look like this. Okay, sometimes the phenolphthalein indicator for the solution, which is we require the 1% of phenolphthalein solution, we directly purchase this from the market as well. So for that purpose we are going to get this phenolphthalein solution and the chemical spray together. Okay, so these two things we are directly get from the market. And last one is the concrete specimen. Now what is the require of concrete specimen? We required, for this test we required a concrete specimen on which we are going to check how much is the depth of carbonation or how much is the carbon dioxide is being penetrated into the concrete. Okay, so there is another type of indicator which we can use in place of phenolphthalein, which is called as a rainbow indicator. Okay, this indicator is also used in for the carbonation test. But as far as our Mumbai University is concerned, they have said that we have to perform this test, carbonation test, by spraying the phenolphthalein and not any other indicator. Okay, so we are not going to use this rainbow indicator. In site also we can use it. Okay, next, first we'll see what is the theory. What is the theory behind this carbonation test? The pH of concrete, as you know, the pH of concrete is more. That means it is a alkaline, which is nearly 12 to 13, mostly due to the calcium hydroxide. As you know that in the chemical reaction of cement and water, what we are going to get? We get the two things. First is CSH gel, and second one is the calcium hydroxide, which is normally the byproduct of cement hydration. I will just show you how it is. Okay, so see here, when OPC, now here it has written OPC. This OPC is nothing but cement. When cement react with water, what do we get? We get two things. First is the CSH gel. What is the CSH gel? CSH gel is nothing but the calcium silicate hydrate gel. All these things, all of this reaction you have already learned in BMCT as well. And in this is the primary gel we are going to get. And with this, we also get the calcium hydroxide. And because of this calcium hydroxide, we get the, okay, because of this calcium hydroxide, we get the pH to be more, or it is nearly 12 to 13. 12 to 13 pH range, okay, because of this calcium hydroxide which is being present in the cement concrete. But do we require this calcium hydroxide? No. To compensate this, what we do, we react it with the fly ash. Now what is fly ash? Fly ash basically a admixtures which is being added into the cement, so that this calcium hydroxide is going to get react with silica SiO2, and it again make the CSH gel, which is called as the secondary gel. So basically, what is the use of this CSH gel? CSH gel is used for the binding purpose. Binding. We get the cement the property of binding. Why the cement gets the property of binding? It's because of this CSH gel. Okay, so this is the basics of it, from where this calcium hydroxide is coming to this picture. Okay, hope you understood this. So calcium, which is the normally the byproduct of cement hydration. So whatever this reaction which we have seen, it is nothing but the cement hydration. Next, as a concrete surface react with carbon dioxide in air, the pH of surface gradually is reduced to about 8.5, though through a process which is called as the carbonation. So the whole process is called as the carbonation, which process in which the carbon dioxide is get penetrated into the concrete through the cracks or the pores, and it reduces the pH. Basically, it reduces the pH to 8.5, and we don't require the pH of a concrete to be as less. We require it to be as more as possible. Why? Because our concrete has a reinforcement. Okay, and the reinforcement is nothing but a steel. And you know that when steel is react with any acid, it causes the corrosion. Okay, and we don't require the corrosion to the reinforcement. Why? Because corrosion is a disease to a steel, so we don't require the corrosion to the steel. So that's why we require the pH of the concrete to be as high as possible. Okay, so this process is called as the carbonation. Next, this carbonation is one of the slow fluxes. It's not like that we get the we construct any structural element and it's get carbonated and the carbon dioxide is then getting inside this concrete. It's not like that. Okay, so it's a slow process. Next is carbonation of a concrete is associated with the loss of alkalinity of the pore solution. So what exactly is the carbonation? Carbonation is associated with the loss of alkalinity. Okay, so the pH of a concrete is what? 12 to 13. Say for example, it is 12. Because of this intrusion of CO2 into a concrete, what happened? The pH reduces to 8 to 9 pH. Okay, the value goes to less, and this is what it is nothing but it is the loss of alkalinity. If the pH is reducing, what we can say, the acidity increases, and what decreases, the alkalinity decreases. So that's what it is, that the carbonation of concrete is associated with the loss of alkalinity. Now the process, how the carbonation takes place. Carbonation is process in which carbon dioxide in the ambient air penetrates the penetrates the concrete and react with the hydroxide such as calcium hydroxide. So what happened? Carbon dioxide is going to react with calcium hydroxide to form the carbonate. As I've said previously, that what is carbonation? Carbonation is a chemical reaction in which it reacts with CO2, and what does it form? It forms the carbonate. So what does it form? It is going to form the carbonate. And which carbonate it is? It is nothing but the calcium carbonate. Okay, so that's what the reaction is. We'll see the reaction. So reaction in this, What is CaOH twice? CaOH twice is calcium hydroxide. The calcium hydroxide from the cement react with the CO2 from the ambient air. From where the CO2 comes from? It is come from the environment. And after the reaction, what does it form? It forms the calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is what? CaCO3, and also produces the water. Okay. So this reaction you already know, this Ca and this CO2 plus O. So what does it form? CaCO3. And what does it remain? Two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen, which is nothing but H2O. Okay. So this carbonic acid, so this is how the calcium carbonate is being formed. And this calcium carbonate is something which is not required. So this carbox acid neutralize the alkalinity of the cement matrix in the concrete cover. Now question arises, how this thing happening, like from where this carbonation takes place. Now how this carbonic acid come into this picture? Let's see this. Okay, wait. This is what, this is a concrete surface. Okay, and in this concrete what do we have? We have some calcium hydroxide. Okay, is it visible to everyone? Oh, it is. This is what? This is nothing but OH negative. From where this OH negative comes from? It comes from calcium hydroxide, which is present in the concrete. Okay. For understanding purpose, I am considering this as to be like a water. Okay. Now, next is what? Next, CO2. This CO2, which is present in an environment, is going to get intruded or get penetrated through this crack or pores with this calcium hydroxide. So what will happen? Now see here, this CO2 is with react with OH negative. This is what? OH negative. So what does it form? It basically forms this HCO3. Now what is this HCO3? HCO3 negative. Now how does HCO3 comes? This H and CO3. This is 2 and 1. This is HCO3. So what is this HCO3? This HCO3 is called as the this is called as the acid, carboxylic acid. And this is what? This is acid. Now as we already know that initially the pH of this is 12. Okay, pH of concrete is 12. Because of this, the reaction takes place, and what will happen? This carboxylic acid will form, and because of this acid, the corrosion takes place. Say for example, there is a presence here, the reinforcement is being present, or a reinforcement is being embedded, and because of this acid, wait. This acid is going to intrude with this reinforcement, and it causes the corrosion to this reinforcement. And this is how the reinforcement is get corroded because of this carbonation process. Okay. Hope you understand of all of this process in this, right? In the carbonated concrete, the alkalinity diminishes appreciably, and below a certain level of pH, the reinforcement is no longer protected against the corrosion. And as we have seen this, because of this diminution of the alkalinity and decreasing the pH level, the reinforcement is no longer protected with the corrosion, and ultimately the corrosion is going to take place. Understood? Now, next comes the procedure. Now, how to do this whole of the practical? It is one of the easiest practical. As you can see, is just 4 steps. First, 1% phenolphthalein solution is made by dissolving 1 gram of phenolphthalein in 90 cc of ethanol. Now, what is 90 cc? Cubic centimeter. Okay. So, how does 1% solution, 1% phenolphthalein solution is prepared? It is prepared by taking 1 gram of phenolphthalein, and it is being added with 90 90 cubic centimeter of ethanol into the what into this ethanol. 1 gram of phenolphthalein into 90 cc of ethanol. After the solution is made, the solution is made up to 100 cc. Now it is how much? 90 cc. Now what we have to do, we have to make it to the 100 cc by adding the distilled water. Now what we are going to do, we are adding the 10 ml of distilled 10 cc of distilled water into the solution. After that, what we have to do, we have to on freshly extracted the core phenolphthalein solution in spray. Now what we have to do, we have to use this spray and spread over this cement concrete. After that, what we have to do, the depth of the unclosed layer, the carbonated layer from the external surface is measured to the nearest of at 4 to 8 position, and the average is taken. Then what we have to do, we have to check the measurement at how much depth the carbon has been penetrated. Now all of this procedure, it's not able basically we are not able to understand what are this procedure is all about. I'm going to show this by using some photos. Okay, first of all, what we have done, first we have taken this phenolphthalein solution in this sprayer. After that, what we have done, we spray this phenolphthalein solution on this cut surfaces. Okay, now how this surfaces is to be cut, now I'm going to show you this. Okay, say for example, what we have taken, we have one concrete beam. Okay, this is what, this is a concrete beam. Now as you know that what is flexural test, flexural test is a test in which we place this beam in a two support, and then we apply the load at the center of it. After applying the load at it, what do we get, we get some crack at this position. Okay, after getting this crack, what we can see this, we see see that the concrete this going to get bent and it is being broken at this position. Okay, so something like that will be okay. After this, what we have to do, we have to take this two different this is the first and this is the second. Now this is broken into two pieces, and now what we have to do, we have to take this beam and we have to spray it at the inside of it. We don't have to spray at this point, we have to spray at this junction. Okay, okay, you can see here we have sprayed at this two of these junctions. After that, what we have seen this, after spraying the 1% or 2% of phenolphthalein solution, this is what before test it looks like, and this is what after test is look like. We have seen that there are some pink colored is being formed at the center of it, and the colorless is being formed at the outskirt of it. So what we can conclude here, the carbonation depth or we can say the carbon dioxide is being penetrated up to this level. Okay, at what level it has been penetrated, up to this level, and this level is still a alkaline, or this portion, at this portion which shows the pink color, at this portion the carbon dioxide is not being penetrated up to here. This penetration is only up to here. The question arises, why? Now whenever we use the phenolphthalein has the characteristics in which whenever the phenolphthalein solutions react with any alkaline material or alkaline solution, it gives the pink color. And if it is react with any material which has a higher pH means what, it has threshold which is sometimes called as 8 or 9. Okay, if it is, we consider this as a 8. If it is, the pH is less than 8, then what we get the colorless. And if it is the pH is more than 8, then we get this pink colored at the surface of it. Okay, now how to take the measurement of depth of carbonation. So for that purpose, you can see here, this is what, this is a concrete cube, this is the broken concrete cube on which the test has been performed. So in this test, what we have seen, this portion, this yellow portion is called as the carbonated area, and this colorless portion is called as the this pink color is called as the non-carbonated area, and the colored and non-colored is called as the carbonated area. So what we have concluded here in this particular sample, we said that because of the porosity is being present in the concrete, the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is being penetrated up to this green zone. Okay, up to top of this green zone, we can say this the carbon dioxide is being present. Now the carbon dioxide is being present. So what we can say, the pH level has decreased below the 8. Okay, at the top of it and the bottom of it, and not at the side. Okay, and this portion is not, and this whole portion, the pink color is the alkaline portion. Okay, so how to check this carbonation? So for that purpose, what we require, we require a straight ruler. Okay, so what we are going to do, so in this, there are two methods of calculating this. First, by taking the random readings of it. Okay, and second one is taking the reading at a equal distance. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it is done. Say for example, we have considered this 4 readings. Okay, concrete surface has 4 sides. Okay, whenever we do the calculation, or whenever we write the observation, we have to do in this fashion. This is the concrete cube. Okay, this is the top portion of it. So what we can say, it is left side, right side, this is bottom, and this is top. Okay, so what we can do, we will get the 4 readings. Okay, so say for example, in this case, this area is get pink color. Okay, this whole of the area is get the pink color. So what we have, say for example, this is the bottom side. Whatever you have seen in this B diagram, it is the bottom side. So what we are going to do, we are going to take a measurement. So how to take the measurement? We have to place the ruler at the bottom of it. Okay, and then have to mark an interval, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After taking all of these dimensions, then what we have to do, say for example, at this distance, so at the 3 centimeter distance horizontally, how much is this vertical distance? Say for example, this vertical distance come out to be 5 mm. Okay, all of this comes out to be in mm, or max to max in centimeter. So we are considering each and every dimensions to be in mm. So it comes out to be 5 mm. Say for example, it comes out to be 4, 3, and 2. Okay, so this is the readings which we are going to get. So after that, what we have to do, 5, 4, 3, and 2. Next, what we are going to do, in this observation table, what we are going to write, depth of carbonation, top, bottom, left, and right. So depth of carbonation, how to calculate this depth of carbonation? We have to calculate by using this. We have to take the average of it. So how to take the average? Average is taken by 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 whole divided by 4. So how much this comes out to be? 3, 4, 4, it comes out to be 3.5, right? The average value comes out to be 3.5. So now this 3.5, where we are going to write this 3.5? We are going to write this 3.5 at this bottom portion. So whichever we have considered, say for example, these readings we have considered for the bottom. So we are going to write here 3.5. Okay. Similarly, for the top portion, left portion, and right portion. Say for example, we get the reading, say for example 4, and we here get 3.7, and here we get the 3.9. Okay. After doing all these things, so how to calculate the average reading? We calculate average reading by taking the average of these 4 readings. So how to take the average? 4 plus 3.5 plus 3.7 plus 3.9 whole divided by 4. So whatever the reading comes, it is nothing but the average of whole of this reading. So whatever the readings come, say for example, we will get 3.6 to be the average. So 3.6 is the depth of carbonation of this particular concrete specimen. So this is the practical. Okay, so this is how you have to perform this practical in this fashion. Okay, so next, when it is the rectangular or a square, we know how to calculate this. And say for example, if it is a circular, say for example, if we have considered the specimen which is of cylindrical, so what do we get? We get the circular shape. So at this junction, we have to consider After each 1 centimeter distance, we have to take the reading of it. After taking the readings, what we have to do? We have to take the average of this particular readings. Okay, hope understood up to this. Next at the last of it, what we have to write? We have to write the result. Result is the depth of carbonation in the concrete sample is come out to be whatever the values we get at this particular portion. Okay, so this is the observation and result. So what we have conclude in this? So what we have conclude? We have conclude that the portion which comes out to be the pink is a sound area, or which indicates the above pH 10, which indicates the pH level above 10. Okay, so this pink area we call it as the sound area, which has the pH 10 or more than 10, and which is the colorless area, we say it is the carbonated area, which indicates below pH 8.2, which is a colorless. Okay, so this conclusion we can draw in this experiment. Okay, now what are the drawbacks of this carbonation? Not the test, but what are the drawbacks of this penetration of carbon dioxide into the concrete? So first drawback is the carbonation initiate the deterioration of concrete. So as we have seen that whenever the CO2 is being react with calcium hydroxide, the calcium hydroxide is nothing but the component of cement. So basically the calcium hydroxide is being used. Now the calcium hydroxide is being used. So what we can say, the the concrete is going to get deteriorated because of the intrusion of carbon dioxide into this concrete surface. Okay. So what is the first topic? Carbonation initiate the deterioration of concrete. And next is the carbonation induces the corrosion. As I already showed you, because of the lower pH, because of the production of acid, which acid? Carbonic acid is being produced. Because of the production of carbonic acid, what do we get? We are going to get the the corrosion is being induced in the reinforcement. Okay, because of the presence of carbonic acid. So these are the two drawbacks of it. And this is one of the photo for when they are going to inspect all these things. So in this you can see here the thing which you can see the colored, that is the pink color. At this portion the wherever the pink color is being shown, we can say that at this pink color no carbon dioxide is being penetrated, and at the outskirt of it, outer layer of it, the carbon dioxide is being penetrated. Okay. Next, it is also used, this carbonation test also used to determine the age of crack. Now, how to determine the age of crack? Say for example, now we have conducted this test. You can see here there is a crack at this portion also and this portion also. So what we can say that because there is no any now here you can see that the pH level is low. Low pH level, what is the meaning of low pH level? It indicates that carbon dioxide is being penetrated. So what we can say is that this crack is a older one. That means this crack has been formed before. Okay, and this crack, we can see here the pH level is high. Now because of the higher pH level, what we can say, that the crack which is being present here, it's a new crack. Why new crack? As it is new crack, the carbon dioxide is not penetrated. Because of the less penetration of carbon dioxide, what we can say that there is a no any colorless being shown at this portion, and the whole of this area seems to be alkaline. So what we can conclude here, this crack is new and this one is the older one. Okay, so how do you stop carbonation? So what are the precautions you have to take so that you are going to stop this carbonation? First is decrease the water cement ratio. Okay, what is this WC ratio? Water cement ratio. If you are going to decrease the water cement ratio, ultimately there is going to be the less crack. Because of the less crack, what we can say, the penetration of carbon dioxide is not possible. So for making the good concrete, what we have to do? We have to do the good compaction. We have to make sure that the compaction should be good. Next, we also require the curing to be the good. Okay, we also require the good curing so that there is no cracks being present. If the crack is less, so what we can say, that we are ultimately make the good quality of concrete. Okay, So ultimately, how to stop this carbonation? Just make good quality of concrete. So these are the things which is being present. Okay, so this is how you have to stop this carbonation process. Okay, hope you understand this whole of this carbonation process.